Welcome back. You're watching News X. In a shocking incident from Delhi on June 7th at around 8:41 p.m., a call regarding the sexual assault of a minor girl was received at the Dayalpur police station. Upon reaching the location, the police team found that a minor girl in an unconscious state had been taken to JPC hospital by her father, where she was declared dead on arrival. Prima facie, the attending doctors at the hospital observed visible injuries on her face and alleged sexual assault. Crime and FSL teams are currently inspecting the spot. A case has also been registered under sections 103, 66 and 13 of the BNS as well as the POSCO Act. Teams have been deployed to collect the clues and arrest the accused at the earliest. We are also getting to know that 6 teams have been formed to investigate the matter. Raids are also going on at multiple places in connection with the Delhi rape and murder. My colleague Mehendi Garg is joining us live for more on this story. Mehendi, are there any updates that you can share with us regarding this case?
Well, Malvika, right now I'm on the ground and where this particular, gruesome sexual assault and murder happened, and talking about the latest developments, then still the investigation and all the teams are investigating this matter. As of now, the latest that we are getting to understand, Malvika, that the 6 teams have been made which are investigating this matter, not only in Delhi, but also the areas surrounding Delhi NCR and also some of the areas in Uttar Pradesh. And now, the CCTV footage is also getting tried, to find the accused and also to find the suspect, because he's on the run right now. So CCTV footages are being investigated as well. One CCTV camera is there in this particular street where case happened, where this gruesome incident happened. So police teams have already taken the CCTV footages and they're trying to investigate and to thoroughly study that video and to try and find out what exactly happened at around 8:40 p.m. yesterday. And we had an exclusive conversation with the family of the victim as well, and they mentioned that how the minor girl, the 9-year-old girl, didn't know the suspect, didn't know the person who called her inside the flat from where the suitcase was found, in which the dead body of that girl was found. So right now you can see, and the viewers can also see the situation at this particular area, and the neighbors and the family members are on the streets and they are asking for the justice as well. And the mother of the minor girl is crying and asking to the police officials and also to the concerned authorities that to give justice to the family as well. So this is just where a lot of ladies are visible. This is the home, this is the residence of the victim of the minor girl, and you can see that only we can say they're 10 steps far away, and I'll just move 10 steps away and I'll show you the visuals from where the suitcase was found, which is the major suspect. And this is the flat, Malvika, and the viewers can also have an understanding that only 10 steps away the suitcase was found, in which the dead body of that girl was found. So this is the particular, this is that flat from where the suitcase was found, and the major suspect is on the run, and he used to live on the 2nd floor of this building, where, as per the neighbors and also as per the you can say that the family members, where this gruesome crime happened. So this is the street. You can see that how narrow street. People and the neighbors are saying that the girl was just came out of her residence for just 5 to 10 minutes to deliver some thing to one of the neighbors, and that guy called her inside the flat, and he pulled the girl inside the flat, and within 10 to 15 minutes the family members tried to find the girl, and they came out of their homes to find the girl. But after 30 to 40 minutes, they got an understanding and they started, searching the flat, the suspect's flat, from where after 40 to 45 minutes, suitcase was found in which the dead body of that girl was found. So yes, right now the matter is still under investigation, and the people here, the residents, the neighbors here are urging, and they are getting gathered outside the street, which is named as the 25-footer road, and they are saying that they will jam that road and ask officials to give justice to that girl. So this development is also still underway, because people have started to gather.
Thank you, Mehendi, for those details. We also have Nazia Elahi, advocate of the Supreme Court, joining us on this story. Ma'am, another case of sexual assault has been reported in Delhi where a minor girl has been raped and killed. How are you viewing this situation?
We woke up and we say good morning, and this news is completely heart touching. And I really very anxious after the new amendment in POCSO Act in 2019. How can this stupid and this kind of accused are getting bail? You can see in West Bengal Alipur court the entire the maximum rape POCSO accused getting bail easily after 72 days, after 75 days. This is not acceptable anymore. This kind of accused really very obnoxious, and this kind of crime is completely unpardonable sin. I think the central government have to take some strict decision, and they have to amend one more time POCSO Act and death penalty, and implement death penalty, because this is completely unpardonable sin. And I am very anxious because Delhi new government are doing their work very good, very good.
Well, ma'am, we have seen that a case has also been registered under sections 101, 103, 66 and 13 of the BNS as well as the POSCO Act. So what are the next steps in a legal point of view? What is the legal recourse that can be taken in the case right now? The suspect is on the run. So what is the next step, legal discourse that can be taken?
Listen, the accused is absconded, and police are bound legally to arrest him, firstly. And police have to be bound to make a good diary, because police I'm a practicing lawyer. I always seen police ignorance in case diary, in charge sheet, and because of this ignorance in case diary and charge sheet, this kind of accused getting bail. So I think the first step is to catch him and get him behind the bar. And I'm requesting through your channel to Central Government of India to be a good amendment in POCSO Act. This bail is not good in this crime. I think POCSO is very heart-touching matter, and I have seen so many cases. 5-year-old girl, 6-year-old girl, 14-year-old girl, and the accused are getting bail in 72 days, 75 days, only because ignorance of police.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. We also have Barkha Singh, former DCW chairperson, joining us live. Ma'am, a minor girl has been raped and killed in Delhi while the suspect is on the run currently. How are you viewing this situation?
Malvika, I will not say good morning. This is very bad morning. इस तरह की खबरें जब आती हैं तो गुड मॉर्निंग नहीं होती, बैड मॉर्निंग होती है. और ये हमारी दिल्ली में जो हो रहा है, मैं नहीं कह सकूंगी. हमारे एक्ट बने हुए हैं, रोज एक्ट नए उसमें और कर दिए जाते हैं, पर क्या होता है आप ये बताइए. लोग अपराधी अपराध करते हैं और भाग जाते हैं. पुलिस अपना काम कर रही है, उतनी पुलिस यहाँ पे है भी नहीं, फील्ड में भी उतनी पुलिस नहीं होती है, तो कहाँ से करेंगे आप बताइए. ये छोटे छोटे बच्चों को, मेरे ख्याल से सबसे अच्छी बात ये है कि सबसे पहले अवेयरनेस क्लासेस होनी बहुत जरूरी है. ये जो छोटे बच्चे सड़कों पे घूम रहे हैं या घरों में रह रहे हैं या झुग्गियों में रह रहे हैं या जहाँ भी कहीं भी रह रहे हैं, उनको एक अवेयरनेस क्लास देना बहुत ही जरूरी है कि हमारा पॉस्को एक्ट क्या है, इसके क्या नियम है, अगर आप ऐसे करेंगे तो आपके साथ क्या होगा, आपको क्या सजा हो सकती है. अगर आप किसी और की बच्ची के साथ आज कर रहे हैं, कल आपकी बहन के साथ भी हो सकती है. देखिए, अब सारी चीजें कानूनों से तो नहीं चलने वाली, कहीं ना कहीं हमें बहुत प्रैक्टिकल होके और एक जमीनी स्तर पे उतर के ही काम करने पड़ेंगे, क्योंकि इस तरह से ऑफिसों में बैठ बैठ के एक्ट बना के और कचहरी में जाके काम नहीं होना। पुलिस तो पकड़ लाएगी, फिर उसको जेल में डाल देगी, थोड़े दिनों बाद उसकी जमानत हो जाएगी, जबकि जमानत होनी चाहिए नहीं चाहिए। अगर वो नाबालिग है तो उसको चिल्ड्रन होम में भेज देंगे। ये चीजें जो है ना, ये बहुत देखने और समझने की चीजें, जो बहुत हमारी दिल्ली सरकार जो है अच्छा काम कर रही है, बहुत तेजी से काम कर रही है। रेखा जी बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट भी कर रही है, सब लोग भी कर, पर कमी कहाँ पे है? दिस इज द क्वेश्चन कि हमारी कमी कहाँ? कमी है कि हम लोगों को समझा नहीं पा रहे। इसमें एक हमें समाज के अंदर जाके हमें अवेयरनेस देनी चाहिए। दैट इज वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट, आई वुड लाइक टू से।
एंड मैम, व्हेन डीलिंग विद केसेस सच एज दिस, जहाँ पे माइनर की बात है, माइनर रेप इन्वेस्टिगेशन, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ सेंसिटिविटी इन्वॉल्व्ड रिक्वायर्ड इन द मैटर। सो व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन? कैसे डील किया जाना चाहिए इस चीज़ के साथ, कीपिंग इन माइंड द सेंसिटिविटी ऑफ द इशू?
आज के टाइम में वो बच्ची, माइनर छोटी बच्ची, वो जो
Hello. Yes, ma'am, please. Well, we seem to have lost that connection, but I would like to thank all our guests for joining us on this story, on this tragic incident that has emerged out of Delhi. Meanwhile, we have some more breaking news coming in response to requests made by stranded locals, tourists, taxi drivers and certain government officials stationed at Shatton. The state government has arranged a special helicopter sortie for their immediate air evacuation. The operation comes as part of the ongoing coordinated relief and evacuation efforts being undertaken in view of the recent adverse conditions that have disrupted normal road connectivity and access to the region. The helicopter sortie began this morning from the Pakyong Greenfield Airport, with the first sortie taking off towards Shatton to initiate the evacuation process. The state government has reiterated its commitment to ensuring the safety and well-being of all citizens in the affected region. Well, this of course comes from the situation emerging out of Sikkim, where we can see that normal daily life has been impacted because of the situation emerging in the region. My colleague Arzu Seth is joining us for more on this story. Arzu, can you please take us through the prevailing situation in the region and the steps that are being taken to combat this?
Well, definitely the state government of Sikkim has launched a special helicopter evacuation process operation to rescue the stranded individual in Chetan and also in the northern Sikkim. And the locals, tourists, taxi drivers and government officials stationed in the North Sikkim area requested assistance due to disrupted road connectivity, and the state government arranged a helicopter sortie from the Pakyong Greenfield Airport to Chetan, and also the operation aims to airlift stranded individuals to safety. This initiative is the part of the government's coordinated relief and rescue efforts in response to recent advanced conditions, and the state government has reiterated its commitment to ensure the safety and well-being of all the citizens in affected region. The government's swift response demonstrates its dedication in providing assistance in the time of need, and also we have seen the havoc in the entire northeast regarding this flood situation, and the people have in fact taken shelter in the relief camps. They have moved, reallocated from their original places. Also, a lot of damage in the farmers' field. So a lot of damage that have occurred, and now the state government has launched a special helicopter evacuation operation to rescue all those who are stuck in the north Sikkim area. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Arzu, with those details. Meanwhile, we have some more breaking news coming in. ED Mumbai has conducted search operations at 18 locations across Mumbai, Kochi and Thrissur at the office and residential premises linked to Prashant Ramgude, BMC engineer, Bhupendra Purohit, who is a BMC contractor, as well as Matprop Technical Service Private Limited, Jay Joshi, who is the director of Virgo Specialties Private Limited, Ketan Kadam, controller of Voder India LLP, as well as Santino Rocco Moria, as well as Dino Moria, close associates of Ketan Kadam. This is of course being undertaken under the provisions of the PMLA 2002 in the matter of the Mithi River desilting scam. During these searches, digital devices, various incriminating documents and cash amounts of rupees 7 lakhs have been seized. 22 bank accounts, FDRs and 1 DMAT accounts were frozen. The total amount of seizure and freezing is more than rupees 1.25 crores so far. My colleague Shahid Ansari is joining us on the broadcast shortly, but we can see that multiple raids have been conducted across Mumbai, Kochi and Thrissur, and seizures of more than rupees 1.25 crores have been made so far in this case. This of course is in the Mithi River desilting scam that has been emerging. We have seen that actor Dino Moria was also questioned by the ED in the same case. We are now learning that incriminating evidence has been found. My colleague Shahid Ansari is with us. Shahid, please take us through the details of the case.
देखिए, इस पूरे मामले में जो 65 करोड़ का घपला रहा है मीठी नदी को लेकर, इस पूरे मामले में जब ईओडब्ल्यू ने जांच की तो जांच के बाद जो है ये सारी चीजें जो है पता चला ये है कि इसमें पैसों के जो ट्रांजैक्शन हुए हैं, इसमें बड़े पैमाने पे पैसों के इधर उधर ट्रांजैक्शन हुए हैं। फिर इस मामले में जो है ईओडब्ल्यू ने जो है ईडी को एक रिपोर्ट दी और ईडी ने इस पूरे मामले में फिर छापेमारी शुरू कर दी। ईडी ने महाराष्ट्र और कोची में जो है कुछ 18 मुकामात पर छापेमारी की और इस 18 मुकामात पर छापेमारी करने के बाद तकरीबन 22 अकाउंट जो है सीज किए, फ्रीज किए और इसमें 1 करोड़ 7 लाख के रकम जो आसपास जो ये रकम थी, इसमें 7 लाख कैश भी था। इस रकम को भी जो है उन्होंने फ्रीज किया है। अब चूंकि कोची में जो है ये छापेमारी क्यों की गई है तो मैं इसके बैकग्राउंड में आपको बता दूं कि हुआ क्या था कि जब ये 65 करोड़ रुपए का ठेका जो मीठी नदी का था, इस 65 करोड़ के ठेकेदारी में जो है बीएमसी की एक टीम जो है कोची गई थी। कोची जाने के बाद बीएमसी की टीम ने वहां से एक कंपनी जो है देखी, जिस कंपनी की जो मशीनें या जिस कंपनी के जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट वगैरह यूज करने थे मीठी नदी की सफाई में, वो उन्होंने देखकर यहाँ आए। फिर उसके बाद बीएमसी की यही जो जिन पर कार्रवाई हुई बीएमसी के अफसरों पर, इन्हीं अफसरों ने एक टेंडर निकाला और टेंडर में जो है उन्हीं मशीनों का जिक्र किया जो मशीन वो देख कर आए थे। अब की टेंडर के जरिए इन्हीं मशीनों को आपको लेना है, मतलब घूम फिर के ये था कि टेंडर किसी के भी पास हो लेकिन उसको मशीन उसी जगह का इस्तेमाल करना है जहां से जो है बीएमसी देख कर आई है। अब क्योंकि जब उस मशीन की बात करें, वो सारी चीजों की बात करें तो वहां पे उस 2 लोग बिचौलिए थे जो जिनके थ्रू जो है कोची की, जब वो लोग कोची की उस कंपनी में कांटेक्ट किए तो उन लोगों ने कहा कि इन दोनों से बात करो, जिनमें से केतन कदम और दूसरे लोग हैं। अब उनसे जब बात की गई तो मामला था कि 8 करोड़ रुपए जो है उसका किराया था, तो 4 करोड़ पर बात बनी थी। अब आता हूं मैं कि मीठी नदी में फिर जब ये सारी चीजें हो गई तो उसके बाद मीठी नदी की सफाई को लेकर हुआ ये कि मीठी नदी से जो भी मलबा निकाला गया और साफ सफाई करने के लिए असल में वो निकाला ही नहीं गया। ट्रक पे जो है जो बिल्डर और जो दूसरे लोग हैं उनके मलबे रखे गए और ट्रक के ऊपर जो है एक लेयर जो है, हल्की लेयर जो है रखी गई मीठी नदी के मलबे की, और उसके लिए जो है फर्जी बिल और ये सारी चीजें बनाई और उसके बाद जो है ये 65 करोड़ के जो है वारे न्यारे हो गए। अब इस 65 करोड़ के वारे न्यारे में कई लोगों ने अपनी झोलियां भरी, जिसमें से बीएमसी के अफसरान से लेकर उस कंपनी के लोग, बिचौलिए, दलाल, ठेकेदार, ये सारे लोग इसमें शामिल थे। अब इसमें डीनो मोरिया का भी नाम आया क्योंकि इनकी एक कंपनी, इनके भाई की एक कंपनी थी जिसमें जो है एक ठेकेदार जो था उसकी और इसकी जो है साझेदारी में वो कंपनी थी, जिसके बाद डीनो मोरिया पर भी कार्रवाई हुई और उनसे भी पूछताछ चल रही है। संभव है कि जो है ईडी की जो जांच है जैसे जैसे सख्त होते जाएगी इस मामले में डीनो मोरिया समेत वो कई लोग जो है गिरफ्तार होंगे जिन्होंने मीठी नदी की सफाई में भ्रष्टाचार में जो है जिनका अहम रोल रहा है। जी।
Well, thank you Shahid for joining us with those details. After Operation Sindoor, Pakistan was defeated by BSF soldiers, and despite being injured, BSF soldiers destroyed Pakistani posts. During this, 4 brave BSF soldiers, ASI Vais Dev, ASI Raj Papa BT, Head Constable Bridge Mohan and Bhupendra Bajpai were injured. ASI Vais Dev's one leg had to be amputated. Meanwhile, my colleague has had a conversation with the BSF soldiers involved in Operation Sindoor. Let's listen in.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है। 1 महीने के बाद भी बीएसएफ के जवानों का हौसला उसी तरीके से बुलंद है और इस चीज़ के लिए तैयार हैं कि अगर पाकिस्तान कोई भी गलती करे तो उसे किस तरीके से मात दी जाए। हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए इस वक्त डीआईजी साहब हैं, उनसे बात करते हैं। प्रभाकर साहब, ये बताइए कि ऑपरेशन सिंदूर खत्म नहीं हुआ है, तैयारी किस तरह की, किस तरह से हौसलों से जवान अभी भी तैनात हैं, अफसर लगातार डटे हुए हैं?
सीमा सुरक्षा बल पूरी मजबूती के साथ सीमा पर तैनात है और हर चुनौती के लिए पहले से ज़्यादा कई गुना प्रतिबद्ध है, कटिबद्ध है और किसी भी प्रकार की दुश्मन की हिमाकत का मजबूती से जवाब दिया जाएगा। और ऐसा जवाब दिया जाएगा तो दशकों तक पाकिस्तान की जो सेना है, रेंजर्स हैं या आतंकवादी हैं, उनके समर्थक वो कभी नहीं भूल पाएंगे।
इस वक्त जो सिचुएशन बनी हुई है सरहद पार के की क्या हरकत है? लगता है चीज़ें अभी पहले जैसी हैं या पाकिस्तान फिर से अपने टेरर लॉन्च पैड या बाकियों को एक्टिवेट कर रहा है?
नहीं, पाकिस्तान ने तो कभी सपने में भी नहीं सोचा था कि सीमा सुरक्षा बल उनके पाकिस्तानी सेना और पाकिस्तानी रेंजर्स को ऐसा मुंह तोड़ जवाब देगा। वो तो सोच रहे थे कि बस ऐसे ही छोटा मोटा कोई फायर करेंगे और बच करके निकल जाएंगे। पर सीमा सुरक्षा बल का जो हौसला था, जो इरादे, बुलंद इरादे थे और जिस तरह का अत्याचार पाकिस्तान समर्थक आतंकवादियों ने हिंदुस्तान पर करा था, हमारी अस्मिता, हमारे स्वाभिमान, भारतीय नारी की इज्जत पर जो हाथ डाला, जिस तरह सिंदूर मिटाया गया, वो बहुत ही खराब काम था। बहुत ही ज़्यादा उसके कारण मन में सबके रोष था और चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, मतलब ऐसी घटना पे कोई जो विदेशी शक्तियां हैं ये इस तरह के घृणित कार्य करती हैं, इनको बहुत जवाब देना हमारी नैतिक जिम्मेदारी है।
अब जब सरहद पार अब 1 महीना हो गया है, अभी भी सरहद पार हरकत देखी जा रही है। पाकिस्तान ने अपने झंडे उतार लिए थे, हालत उनकी ये थी। अब कैसा माहौल पाकिस्तान में है?
पाकिस्तान में तो भय का ही माहौल होना चाहिए। पाकिस्तान को जिस तरह का जवाब मिला है उसकी चूल्हें हिल गई होगी। वो पूरे कल्पना भी नहीं कर सकते थे कि इस तरह का उनको कठोर जवाब मिलेगा। वो तो सोच रहे थे हर बार की तरह बस शांत रहेगी बीएसएफ, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं देगी, 4 राउंड उन्होंने फायर करे तो हमने भी 4 करके छोड़ देगी। पर अब ऐसा नहीं होगा। हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी देश के गौरव जो हैं, उन्होंने कह दिया है कि तुम बच नहीं पाओगे, मतलब ये सब अब नहीं चलेगा।
अमरनाथ यात्रा भी आने वाली है, ऐसे में पाकिस्तान अगर कोई ऐसी नापाक हरकत करे उसको लेकर कितनी तैयारी है सरहद पर?
सरहद पर पूरी तैयारी है और पहले से कई गुना ज़्यादा हम सावधान हैं, पहले से ज़्यादा सतर्क हैं, पहले से ज़्यादा हम अपने जितने भी स्ट्रेटेजिकल और टैक्टिकल चुनौतियां हैं उसका रिव्यू लगातार कर रहे हैं और पूरी सावधानी बरती जा रही है। देश की सुरक्षा, देश के नागरिकों की सुरक्षा हमारा प्रथम कर्तव्य है।
एक चीज़ देखी जा रही है कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा पर जो विलेज डिफेंस गार्ड है उनको तैयार किया जा रहा है। इसका मकसद क्या है? किस तरह से आपकी जो स्ट्रेंथ है इसे और बढ़ाएंगे आम लोग?
देखिए कि जो सीमा के जितने नागरिक हैं वो सारे के सारे ही मतलब वीडीएफ का, बॉर्डर गार्ड का, विलेज डिफेंस कमेटी का कार्य करते हैं। वो बीएसएफ की आंखें हैं, बीएसएफ के कान हैं। वो ही बीएसएफ को सूचना देते हैं। यदि हमारी सीमा पर रहने वाली जनता मजबूत होगी, समझदार होगी, बीएसएफ के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला के कार्य करेगी, तो देश पे कोई भी जो नापाक निगाहें पड़ती हैं, गंदी निगाहें पड़ती हैं, उसको उठने से पहले ही ख़त्म कर दिया जाएगा।
शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए। ये थे डीआईजी प्रभाकर जोशी साहब, जिन्होंने बताया कि किस तरीके से तैयारियां यहाँ की गई हैं। मंडी के साथ अजय जंडियाल, इंडिया न्यूज़।
Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump admitted that his relationship with Elon Musk, once a key ally and donor, is likely over. Trump also warned of serious consequences if the tech mogul provides financial support to Democratic candidates challenging Republicans who backed the administration's sweeping tax cut and spending bill. Though the president has declined to specify what those consequences might be. The rift between the two prominent figures erupted publicly earlier this week, with Musk criticizing Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act on X, calling it a disgusting abomination and warning that Trump's tariff policies could trigger a recession. Musk even posted, then deleted, a post on X supporting Trump's impeachment, as well as a reference to Trump's past ties to Jeffrey Epstein, an allegation that the president has dismissed as old news. Trump responded harshly, accusing Musk of being disrespectful to the office of the president and expressing disappointment in the billionaire who has openly attacked the president's signature tax and GOP-led spending bill. Musk has labelled it bloated and unfair to clean energy industries. So the big question right now is what led to the fallout between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. My colleague Aditya Vadhavan is joining us live for more on this story. Aditya, the war between Elon Musk and Donald Trump continues to rage on. What can you share with us? What are the updates that you are getting right now?
Well, Malvika, if you see, the feud between Donald Trump and Elon Musk is now absolutely in the public domain. He has gone on to even warn Elon Musk that if he funds Democrats, there will be disastrous consequences for him. Let us just also put this into perspective that, certain policy decisions regarding electric vehicles has not gone well down with Elon Musk, and that is why he's now publicly criticizing Trump. He has even gone on to say that there should be a new party in the United States, and also the Vice President of the United States of America, J.D. Vance, should be made the president. So clearly at this juncture, there are disagreements going on between both Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And as per some reports, the Tesla's market shares have fell down by 18%, which has further accentuated the problem between Musk and Trump. And now it needs to be seen from here on how what impact does this feud between Trump and Musk has on the American industrial class and the American economy as a whole. Yes, Malvika.
Well, stay with us, Aditya. Meanwhile, right now we have Lieutenant Colonel J.S. Sodhi, International Affairs expert, joining us live on the broadcast on this story. Sir, two such prominent, powerful figures on the global stage are publicly feuding. So, what is the impact of this fallout? What do you see? How do you view this impacting markets, especially where we saw that Tesla stocks have crashed? But also globally, what is the how would you view the impact of this fallout?
Malvika, it's my honor to be on your esteemed channel. As a person gets rich, as a person gets powerful, he or she is supposed to be more balanced, more matured in their public dealing. But what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are showing to the entire world is indeed very shocking and surprising, coming from those people who are so rich and so powerful. Well, the first public feud is going to have is definitely it is going to cause a lot of harm both to Elon Musk and Donald Trump, because both know a lot of secrets about each other, and as it is being revealed in the last few days, both are taking out the skeletons from the cupboard and in a disdainful manner they are bringing each other's prestige down. The second big impact definitely will be because Donald Trump is now American president, he has definitely much more power than Elon Musk. He is going to try and give a big hit to Elon Musk's business empire. We've already seen how the shares of Tesla have dropped in the last few days. But certainly this feud is turning very ugly, and as both people who are rich and famous, they should understand that they have to set a good example to the world and not what they are doing publicly.
Well, sir, we've seen that Elon Musk has deleted his tweets now calling for Trump's impeachment, as well as the one linking Trump to Epstein. And associates of both have also been calling for them to reconcile. So, do you think a ceasefire between the two is likely now?
Well, Malvika, the fact remains that so much of damage has been done by each one to the other that it is impossible for them to patch up, because as Donald Trump has said yesterday that there is no way that he'll mend fences with Elon Musk, and definitely the Democrats are waiting for this golden opportunity. So whatever tweets Elon Musk might delete, but the fact is the screenshots would have been taken by the Democrats, and in the times ahead they will use it to the disadvantage of Donald Trump. Certainly both Elon Musk and Donald Trump are in grave trouble now.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, sir. Meanwhile, that's all for this bulletin. We'll slip into a short break.